Alright guys, so this is the second slide on this particular videos, right? So this is literally the good chat, and I pretty much will be looking to use the current setups which you actually did take today. I won't actually want to break down that of last week, right? So you can actually do your homework on it and look out for how it actually panned out, or how it actually went there, or how we were able to like scrape through last week, right? So it's more your homework for it. But right now, I'm literally going to be breaking down this particular price action for today, right? So for today, if you actually take a look at this, now you should actually understand that none of the setups we actually drop, or I actually drop right there in the community is a hindsight. I don't actually work with hindsight, okay? So there are literally no hindsight. You might actually see them as hindsight, but when you do your homeworks and start seeing how the levels pan out, you will understand that these are literally far from being hindsight, okay? Now, if you actually take a look at the 1 hour time frame, yeah, the 1 hour time frame, right? What do we see right here? Right, we are literally we are initially stocking buys of this particular level, which did not literally pan out well. Okay, so this was the level where we actually did stock buys. Okay, this was where we were actually looking at for buys. Okay, so that is the first step. Now, if you actually take a look at this, this is the SNR type 2, and it goes like this. Key key level, okay, price comes back and then comes back right here, okay, comes back to this particular level and then expand all the way to the upside. So our own goal right here as traders is practically to look at for buys at this baseline, okay. So we are literally looking to see buys of this particular baseline, and this is what we call the SNR type 2. Okay, so this is the first key level, first gives this buy level, gives this buy level, and expand all the way to the upside. Now, this never happened. Okay, we are literally at this particular point. So how do we break down this setup? Now, if I'm to scale all the way to the 5 minutes time frame, I would actually be looking at for a 5 minutes continuation pattern, which should be made present or which should be available, clean, and then let's say not a ranging price action. It should literally be clean to the eye. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Now you actually have this level, and you actually have this level. Okay, so pretty much you can see that this right here is a QML, and this right here is a QM. Okay, so you actually have this entire level being refined to this particular point. Okay, now since we actually have this level being refined there, how do we go about it? Now notice we actually have this 5 minutes QML. Okay, and we actually also do have this 5 minutes SNL type 2. Okay, so these are literally the levels you actually have in place. So how do you navigate through it, or how do you tend to avoid this particular loss? Now, since we actually have the presence of this QMO, okay, and then this right here, we actually will refine further. So I'm literally scaling to the lower time frame to refine further. I actually did make a video on the refining aspect right there in the community also. I just hope you'll get to check it out and do the homeworks that comes with it, right? So this is going to take me to the last level, okay, which is this particular demand. Okay, this demand right here. Okay, and for this right here, this is literally going to take me to this point. Now, no matter what, price action, I'm trying to like map this out so you'll see how crazy it can be sometimes. Okay, now no matter what, in price action, you shouldn't actually have two levels. Okay, no matter what, you shouldn't actually have two levels in price. It's always going to be one particular level, and when you actually get two levels in price, make use of the level beneath and not the one at the setup area. Okay, so when I talk about the setup area, this was where you actually did get the setup right here. Okay, this was where you actually did get the setup coming. So we actually want to look at for levels below this entire level, which is going to take us all the way to this point. And we don't actually want to look at for our level above this. Okay, so you actually have to go below and not above. So when you're actually making your refining, it should take you below and not above. Okay. Now, if you actually do your homework, you will see what I'm talking about. Now, since this is a level and this right here is also another valid level, applying exertion point and also looking out for where the volume is at that particular point is going to literally determine what you do in this particular scenario. So taking a look at this, now since this is practically based off a daily and intraday basis, right? I literally apply this to the daily. I applied this to a daily setting, okay? Daily, this was literally daily. I did apply this to a daily setting, right? And I think I should actually modify this. Was it daily or Tokyo section? All right. So I literally did apply this to the Asian section. Now the reason why I did apply this to the Asian section was because of the fact that we are still pretty much making use of the Asian section orders at this particular point. Okay. So we did kick into London section, but what you actually want to this is how it works. You use the Asian section to gauge the trend for mid-London, London section, and then the London section to gauge the trend for the New York section, okay? And the New York section to gauge the trend for Asian section. So since we actually have this volume order right here, as usual, we go below, okay? So this right here was a no-no. First of all, I've given the reasons for it, okay? And then this right here was where we actually want to play off the buys, okay? Now, my entry literally, we actually did scaling right here, firstly, which actually resulted to a loss. And then having the second entry at this particular point, this was where we actually had the first the trade planning us pretty well. Now, if you actually apply exhaustion points, the end of an impulsive movement, or the beginning of another impulsive movement, this was what took us all the way to this point. Okay. Now, seeing the impulsive retracement, we also did get a loss. So there's literally no justification to why we did take a loss or this or that. I'm not literally going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to make it look perfect, okay? So this impulsive move all the way to the downside actually propelled a loss, which is perfectly fine. When seeing the fact that this level was still valid, and then if you actually scale up to the higher time frame to see if you actually did get an EG, you did get the presence of a bullish engulfing candle, right? Making this a valid one. So this was the reason for the buys. Okay, this was literally the reason for the buys. So we actually did take buys all the way to the upside. Now, if I'm literally to skip all the way back to the lower time frame, if you're possibly asking why did we actually take the sell? Now, if we look at this, price actually rallied all the way to the upside. What did we see right here? We actually did see this engulfing candle. Okay, this is a QML right there, 1 hour QML, and I did see a lot of you sell right there. Now, one thing you should actually note, as I did say, you actually don't sell or you don't actually refine and then sell or take your entry at that immediate level. But the refining should take you all the way to the upside, not to the downside. Below it, you should actually refine all the way above. Okay. Um, we actually did manage to get to this particular level and price action. And if you actually apply this to the weekly aspect, if I actually apply this to the weekly or the daily, you will see that the orders were literally at this particular point above this, right? Now you actually want to apply this to the upside and not to the downside. Now, if you take a look at the lower time frame, where did we actually get a valid supply zone coming in from? Which I'm literally going to show you all right now. A valid supply zone was coming all the way from this particular point. You have to play this from this particular point, right? And you remember our entry is literally over 5 minutes. Seeing that price actually did make use of this, make use of this. Okay, we actually wanted to get this is where our 5 minutes QML was coming in from. So obviously our entry should be above the 5 minutes QML. Now this is literally what gave birth to this. Now we actually did see that price did break through this zone. Okay, now if you apply exhaustion points, you see we actually had sales extension. That is why we actually did get this expansion to the downside. And with volume coming in, we see that there was practically a validity of this particular level being valid. Okay. Now, today was literally a shabby price action. We did not see a perfect touch to our levels, right? Which is perfectly okay. As I did say, 90% of the time you're going to get precise reversal taps. Okay. Now, I do see a lot of comments like buying was not a good idea when you actually did get a loss, and boom, price actually did rally all the way to the upside, and then some persons changed their bias to selling shouldn't be a great idea, and then boom, price started selling. You should actually understand that you can't literally control the market. Okay, your own job as a trader is to react, and if you keep trying to control the market, you're literally going to keep getting busted and then busted and busted. Trading is all about having a very simple approach, right? With your risk management parameters being in place, you'll kill it, bro. Like definitely, you kill it. Okay. Last week we actually did get a lot of bangers. This week we started with BTC being a banger. It never came with us trying to control the market. We actually have every single tool that will indicate that we should see impulsive movements and so on, right? I mean, just they take our entries. It's just more about a rinse and repeat system. There's practically nothing that is literally 100%. But for some few days, a couple of months ago, I maintained over 100% win rate of props, right? And 90% of the prop firms have cleared out. This was all with one trade, so that's literally 100% win rate there. And I've cleared a lot of prop firms, right? Still with the same concept, right? And I'm counting over 35 to 38 prop firms cleared out. You get me right? So it's literally easy. It's all easy, bro. Like it's literally all easy. You should quit trying to control the market and then just flow with the market. You get me right? Now, if you actually did take a loss, if you actually did flow with this, be it late entry or whatever, you still would have had a bag right here. So I would say this: try as much as possible to do the homework. So you see how easy it is. Don't try to like control the market of FOMO in. If you don't get your trade panning out well, there's always going to be another opportunity to scale into the market. You get me right? There's literally going to be thousands of opportunities to scale into the market. And if you're looking to get funded, don't try to the market. Okay, I don't think profits are not literally hard, irrespective of the fact that we actually do make mistakes. But profits are literally not that hard. Okay, they are literally easy, and all you have to do is just to follow your rules, bro. That's it's just how easy the entire market is. The market is as easy as just following your rules. Okay, so that is it, guys. I don't know what else to say to you all. Like, I don't know what else to say to you all. You should just do your homework, and then you see how easy it is, right? So see you all tomorrow. I'm literally on this house. I cut to the cells from those points. Okay, when everybody was screaming sales is not a good idea, bro. I'm literally screaming whatever, and then I'm smashing it, right? Smash the buy, smash the sell. 3% back on one account, and then literally going to back 4% on another, right? Easy, easy. Don't listen to the noise. Don't pay attention to the noise. It's all easy, guys. You can do it. Since you're new to this particular community, I can assure you one thing. If you do the homeworks, you're going to see how easy it is. It has always been an easy peasy, right? So that is it, guys. Stay safe.